And away we go. It is the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken, right here on BearcatJournal.com. You know the drill. www.galacticfriedchicken.com. Download the app for Android, iPhone, everything Galactic. Get to the app, and they will deliver right to your house, pretty much anywhere inside the 275 loop. Or go down to Dayton, Kentucky. Tell them Aaron sent you. Tell them to pump it up. They will save you 15% off of your order. All right, Aaron. We've been doing this a lot lately. We're in the season. 'Tis the season for Aaron to drive the car, Chad to ride shotgun. So have at it. Big 12 Media Days began today. You want to start somewhere else, and then we'll head into that.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot I mentioned that already. Dick Vitale has cancer, unfortunately, for the third time on his vocal cords this time around. I did want to wish him our condolences from Bearcat Journal. Not that he'll ever hear any of this, but just to put the good vibes out there as a show that has gone through our own battles with cancer. At this point, I think anybody in our audience has probably had their own battles with cancer, whether it be a family member, friend, coworker, etc. Sucks that he has beat it twice and is now going to go through a third time, especially when it's going to affect him to where he's not even able to do his job due to the radiation once again.
He did say he hopes to be back. The prognosis is that, prognosis, whatever, is prognosis. That he should, prognosis, that's what I meant. Yeah. Put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Hey, you had me last night. I got you tonight.
Yeah. That he should hopefully be back by then. I know for him, this is probably one of the worst possible days to get that news because it's the ESPYs, it's Jimmy V, So
I wonder if he got the news before today.
No, he had said previously that he was getting his results.
Okay.
From the testing that they were doing today.
Horrific.
So, yeah. I was watching the Jimmy V stuff always makes me a blubbering idiot, but just how weak he was, leading up to going up there and making the speech that he did. And then I think it was 2 weeks and he passed shortly after. So, best of luck to Dickie V. I'm still a mess from everything that I went through, and it sucks. Fuck cancer.
Well, on a far lighter note, Big 12 Media Days start today, and our own Keegan Nickerson, that's with an N, not a K, as he made sure to point out. Good on him. He said he didn't have the heart to correct Mo on air, but he made sure to.
He also said he was so nervous he was about to throw up, and I was like, "What are you nervous about?"
But Keegan is down there. He did spend time with you guys, you and Dave, on the BCJ pod. But we have to talk about it because it was the biggest thing for what we covered today. But today you had, as I will share here, you had Brett Yormark kicking it off at noon Central, followed by Sonny Dykes at 1:15 and his band of merry men. You had Dana Holgerson, a subdued Dana Holgerson at 1:45. Didn't really see much as far as what he said. Lance Leopold at 2:10. And Jalen Daniels. I don't know. Have you seen the picture yet of Jalen? So Jalen Daniels he is the presumed offensive player of the year at this point.
I think it's going to be him or Quinn Ewers. Those are 1-2. But yeah.
But he had an Apple Watch that he said his parents had because they can make things happen when he wants something, apparently. That's what he said. But they had a chain made for him with an Apple Watch medallion that is diamond crusted that does nothing but show highlights from him. And he said he does plan on adding new highlights onto the reel this year. Just fascinating to me.
Baller.
Dave Aranda at 2:35, representing Baylor. Mike Gundy we'll definitely get into some Mike Gundy snippets at 3, and Steve Sarkisian, Texas is back, finishing it up at 325. So let's kick it off. Brett Yormark getting things started. He walked back his talking points in regards to conference realignment from what we had heard previously. Not so aggressive this go round. Not so aggressive. I did like that he took a subtle shot at Texas and Oklahoma, saying that this conference is bigger
Everybody
than
was swinging at Texas and Oklahoma.
bigger than 2 schools. Just no shits given there. You also had a new logo that is going to be debuted next year, this time, for the Big 12.
You know, it kind of went under the radar that I saw is he talked about there's a digital like distribution deal that's coming.
I told you this was coming. I told you yesterday this was coming.
I know, but it didn't get a lot of, what I'm saying is it didn't get a lot of attention in the things he said today.
Because there's no numbers associated to it, right? It's not something that's at the end of the rope yet. So I told you this was going to be coming because I sincerely believe that he is going to get them every bit as close as he possibly can to the Big 10 and to the SEC. Now, it's not going to ever be what they're making, but he is going to nickel and dime his way there as best he can to where the Pac-12 will not sniff what the Big 12 has put together.
Yeah, I'm familiar. Like, there's ads popping up all over. I will sell out faster than shit, bro.
I get it.
It means better content. We got Keegan in Dallas.
Yeah,
Me and Mr. Yormark, peas in a pod. He just does things for millions of dollars, and I do them for like 47 cents. Tens of dollars. But our thought process is there.
But I don't know. What of that stood out to you?
The new logo is interesting because I think the Big 12 logo is pretty damn good. Like,
I like the Big 12 logo. I don't think there's anything wrong with the Big 12 logo. I don't know how you jazz it up to where it's younger and hipper. I mean,
that's pretty young and hip.
It's a good
logo.
It's a good logo, right? Like, I don't know if it works with any other logo that you're trying to put together the way that it is.
It also works with every color scheme.
Correct.
Like, no, I mean, I get it, I guess. I don't know. But I don't mind the Big 12 logo. I think it's a good logo. But
I think
trying to maximize every dollar. So I'm sure there's something behind money that they're going to make from the new Big 12 logo.
Presented by Rocket Mortgage.
Right.
Is Michigan State still presented by Rocket Mortgage? Is that still a thing?
Mel Tucker, presented by Rocket Mortgage because they want to put him on a rocket, send his ass to the moon.
But
what else?
What else stood out to you from Big 12? Well, from
I just like the way that this guy carries himself, man. Like Dave mentioned it today. He was making me laugh with Keegan when talking about Yormark. He didn't have a dais. Like, he wasn't at a podium. It was like a what'd he say? What'd Dave say? Like a Windows 95, like Steve Jobs presentation with like just walking around, and like that was very much the energy that he had. Was like a tech seminar. But I like it. Like, he's different, man. Like, we got so used to these stuffy, like, I'm better than you, old head conference commissioners. This guy's different. Like, he's a Gen X. You know, he's got a little edge to him. He's not just going to sit there in a chair and tell you how, you know, boring the conference is going to be. You know what I mean? Like, I I like his presence. I think it's refreshing in this space. I think it's something different in this space. Hopefully, it challenges the other conferences to go in a different direction, because
that's going to take a commissioner saying, "I'm too old for this shit," Danny Glover style, and stepping down. And I don't know that
we just saw. Well, that's the problem, I guess, is we just saw them like they cycled through almost all of them.
Yeah, the Big Ten most recently of all of them, I guess.
Pac-12 is gone. The Big 12, they brought in new. The SEC and the ACC, those guys, they haven't been with those leagues for a decade or whatever, but they're status quo. So
if Clive
why would Greg Sankey ever leave his job?
Oresco.
Huh?
What's the guy's name for the American?
Oresco.
That's what I thought. I'm just saying. I mean, that's another one. Like, he's not that.
We don't care about him anymore.
maybe question that was even his name.
Sankey's the guy that runs the SEC. Like, he's at the top of the top of the food chain. Why would that guy go try to find another job? But I just like, if you're not the Big Ten or the SEC, like, find a guy like this. Find a guy that's a little different, a little more aggressive, a little more active.
Not Klykov.
Right. Klykov has been the most reactionary guy like we've seen in this whole process. Like,
I don't even know if you can say that at this point. What is he doing?
He's been swirled and locked in the locker.
He hasn't figured out how to get out.
Well, okay, first they put him up the flagpole by his underwear, and then they let him down, and then they swirled him, and then they locked him in the locker, and he's still there. Like, all of the things.
The funny part is, it was the Big Ten and the SEC doing it,
and he's blaming the finger at the Big 12 the whole time. That's how you know you're in it. Like, that's how you know you're bad. You're not even blaming the people that murdered you.
Unbelievable. Moving on.
What caught your eye from this?
Well, I mean, like I said, the logo change caught my eye because I don't think there's anything wrong with it. So I'm fascinated as to what changes, because I like it. I like it better than the American A. I like it better than what we had with the Big East or Conference USA. I like it better than
the American A. Is maybe the only thing I really enjoyed. Like, that logo was
actually, I didn't like it, but that's.
I mean, it looked American, right? Like, if your conference is named the American, and
A with
logo,
A with a star is the way to go, for sure.
American. Like, I'm just saying, in terms of branding.
Yeah.
That A accomplished
I'll give it to you.
Everything it was supposed to.
Doesn't mean I liked it, but I'll give that to you. That's fine.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying I loved it. I'm saying I respect it.
So
the only other thing would have been like a guy in a jean jacket, like, America, hell yeah. That would have been my
Kid Rock
choice. Yeah, it would have been Kid Rock with just American underneath
it. The Big 12 halftime performer, I'm certainly interested in finding out who that is, and those we'll find out. I believe they said August 12th when tickets go on sale. So I'm fascinated to see who that ends up being.
August 12th, I'm sure they'll drop it like it's hot.
Most curious to see how dedicated he is to being younger and hipper. I don't know that 60-year-old sea walking is going to do it, but we'll see.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. Just the way that he made sure to say that, the two not afraid to take a subtle shot at Texas and Oklahoma as commissioner.
Not so subtle. A shot. A shot. Not so subtle shot.
You don't know which two teams he was talking about. Maybe he was talking about the two new teams he was going to try and add. Who knows? Or not add. Sure. I like the way that he did sidestep realignment questioning I believe he sidestepped it, beat around the bush on it, but it was
You have to. They weren't announcing teams.
right, and we knew that he was going to do that, but the way he did it, it was what he said and how he said it that caught my attention, and just what he ended up saying today. He's not going to have to walk back. He didn't.
Right. I think he learned from last year. Like let's not. Sometimes
it's okay.
You're supposed to not say the stuff out loud. You're just supposed to like, yeah.
It's okay to give the carrot and not the stick. Right.
Right. That's a good one. I like that one. Yeah. Like, look, we'd love to stay at 14, but if we'd stay at 12, like we'd like our 12. But if we go to 14, we'd like our 14 too.
So we'll see what happens with all that. But moving on, there wasn't a ton for me as far as quotables outside of I did forget BYU finished up the day at 350. I didn't have them on the graphic. I hadn't scrolled down far enough.
They were on a mission.
Mike Gundy, though. Mike Gundy is not here for anyone's bullshit.
He doesn't he wants to take every shot at Oklahoma that he can take. You know why? Because there's no chance they play Oklahoma until I'm a man. I'm 74. They're not playing Oklahoma again.
Outside of a pandemic that causes you to change your scheduling,
I still don't think they play
in a week.
Oklahoma.
I still
don't think he'd do it.
I hate that we're going to lose some of these regional battles. I do.
This has been going on for 2 decades. It sucks, but it's happening.
I understand, but I can still not like it.
What I did feel sorry for our guest tonight,
McLean Baxley,
was asked. Dave asked him, what does Oklahoma State do for a rivalry? And he was kind of like, Tulsa. I died a little bit inside when he said that. He was like, look, Kansas has Kansas State, Iowa State has Iowa, Cincinnati now has West Virginia and Central Florida, and Houston's got all the I don't know who's going to become Oklahoma State's rival. That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
When you have, it's got a name. It's one of the most. If you say Bedlam,
mm-hmm.
a sports fan knows Oklahoma State. What are you watching? What are you watching? Bedlam. Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah.
I don't love losing that. I mean,
I get it from that perspective.
It would be the same as if you lost Kansas State, right? I think that there would be a faction. There'd be a faction upset with that. Iowa State, they'd be upset with it. Michigan
they've
State.
Never been in the same conference. They still play.
My point is, if you lost these rivalries, Cincinnati won't give up Miami for the very same reason, right? Because it's a storied rivalry.
It's a dub.
I don't love that rivalry anymore. I also don't want Cincinnati to give up that rivalry,
Aaron,
unless they have another rivalry.
Wait, at some point, and maybe not. Maybe it'll never happen. At some point in time, Miami's going to win 2 or 3 games in a row in that series, and Cincinnati's going to go, there's this. Yeah.
When?
2037. I don't know. They've won 16 in a row.
That's the funniest joke you've told in some time.
I know. But
2 or 3 in a row. Come on, man.
But at some point in time, no, never mind. That was a terrible analogy.
What are we doing?
Strike that from the record. Can we delete it? Get that out of here.
So I don't know. I understand him being upset about that and not really, you have to answer questions about it. He's a no nonsense kind of guy, and he had to answer questions about something that he knew he had to come up with several different talking points to continue answering the same questions over and over and over again. But Mike Gundy, we had him as 1B, I would say, on our people who would say outlandish things. That's the closest we got to outlandish things. Steve Sarkisian and Texas. I really hope that they go down in a fiery ball of flame this year. I don't know. Did you have any other takeaways from the things that you read or caught up on?
Not really. Not really. I mean, I watched as much of it as I could live. Had a family thing early today, and then we are dead in the heart of apparently volleyball season. Like, there's no games. I'm talking about games. I'm talking about practice, Aaron. I'm talking about practice. She's got volleyball camp all week this week. She's got volleyball tryouts next week. She's got volleyball shit like from here until eternity, it feels like. So, yeah. If I do something, I'm generally going to be in my car watching from a volleyball event.
I hope next year they make it to where every player and coach is accessible for these guys that are in attendance, not just who you can fit in. That would be about the only complaint I have as far as this went.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that like that's really much that they're going to get into here. That'll probably be more like local specific. What we also don't get a lot of is like what happened in the breakouts when the local media got with their head coaches. I know Keegan was popping around getting some comments from other coaches about UC, but
right.
We'll probably get a little bit different feel for things tomorrow when you get Satterfield and all the guys kind of doing their own thing. So I'm excited for tomorrow. I think tomorrow's going to be fun.
I agree.
Look forward to it. All right. That's a wrap. We'll see you tomorrow night. Talk about talking. More talking about talking. It's talking week. It's a nightcap brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya.